Good day, my loves. Good day, good day, good day. I hope you are feeling well. I send you peace of mind, healing for your heart and your soul, and compassion and love in your life. Oh, yes, I do. Compassion and love. Can you imagine those two things together unconditionally? So, like, I just made me some jamu juice, and it's fresh turmeric, fresh ginger, some pepper, and some honey after it cools down, and it's so good, y'all. I think I put 2 spoonfuls of this teaspoons of honey, and it's really good. But I probably would try just one, and see what it tastes like. But I hope you guys are doing well. And it got a nice little kick too. It's an inflammatory concoction. So along my journey, I realized that certain foods bring forth like mucus and phlegm, right? Hey guys, Spiritually Savage here. Spiritually Savage here. It is what Monday, top of the Monday, top of the morning. I'm not in mourning though. I am in celebration. So anyhow, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and I'm like, I still believe in love. And it's like stronger than ever now, though. It's like real strong. I still believe in love. But now there's a discernment that comes with that love. But I am learning to balance it not taken away from the love that I show. Excuse you, sir. Thank you. Right? The love that I show. And when you're coming out of the darkness and when you're coming out of doing your own shadow work and facing yourself, you realize even more so that you are not perfect, that I am not perfect. Never claimed to be, but even more so, you know so. And so that allows you to have compassion for others. Not saying let them bully you, not saying let them manipulate you, not saying any of those things. At some point in time, you are going to have to leave because there's an old saying where it says, if you, I don't want to say that, but that's the thought that came to my mind. But if you are the smartest in your circle, then you need another circle. And, or, what was the other one? Because I was thinking of a specific one, but that particular one jumped into my head, and I get it. But I've always moved in different circles until I got trapped and caught up. So, but I'm coming back to me, and I was like giggling because I'm like, okay, so I've been single for a minute. Loving it. It's beautiful. I've always enjoyed my singleness. This was just a different type of singleness because I was more aware of why I was intentionally single and why I wanted to be single and why I needed to be single. Oh, yeah, y'all just don't even understand. It was so jarring. It was like, it shook me. I'm not even gonna lie, it shook me. It shook me right down to my foundation to help me build it right back up. When I tell you, God is so good all the time. All the time. Ooh. So, one thing I asked God during this time, even when I couldn't see y'all, even when it was so dark and that light was so tiny. I'm talking about mustard seed tiny, maybe tinier than that. Okay, at one point in time, it was tinier than that. But I still believe in love. I did everything I did out of love. And I refuse to let any situation, any negativity, and I'm smiling hard because I really was thinking today. And it's like, well, it started last night, but that's a whole nother story. So, one thing I kept asking God was, please don't change my heart. Just don't change my heart because I seen what it does. I seen it. I seen it firsthand. I seen it. I seen it firsthand. And that's, I mean, that was a repetitive prayer. Don't change my heart. Please don't change my heart. I was like begging and pleading, don't change my heart. Don't change my heart. Don't change my heart, Lord. Don't change my heart. And so that brings me towards today. Because I'm like, okay, I know myself a little bit more. I still got, I still got to know myself. My cheeks are hurting. I am like, oh my goodness. Because I was thinking last night, but it didn't dawn on me until today that, okay, girl, okay. Like, I'm ready to get out. Like, I think I know myself a lot more now to, interact and because I've been in seclusion for a long time. But I think no, I know I am. I know I am. I know I'm ready. Which is why I had that thought today, like I know I can still love, like, but it's a different kind of love. It's an awareness love, and it's like, and so I was sitting here wondering, like, how would that be? How would that look? How would I be? Like that's basically what it was like. Like how would I be? And I am so goofy when it come to dating. Like I don't know, like so even throughout my life, I've never been one to, like, once I'm with you, then you get to see me. And I'm a little aggressive, but, not anymore. I love my feminine energy. I've learned, to channel that aggression elsewhere. And so this is what the 3 years have taught me. It's like sitting in your feminine energy, right? And feminine energy is, it's relaxed, it's subtle, it's coy, essential. And I always had it, and you can see it, but I always had that aggression, which you could feel it and hear it. So this is different. And so I'm like, but I'm more aware now. I just know to channel my Aries energy in a different way, right? And anybody who knows me know what I'm talking about. For goodness sakes, my name was Dan the Man growing up. Are you kidding me? I think about it now, and I think I was literally a young man. I was. I mean, goodness, my brother says that I was like his big brother. I was. I was such a tomboy. But I'm still like all feminine. Like I absolutely love men. So I was like, thinking today, like, what kind of guy am I going to be interested in? Oh my goodness, like, what is he going to look like? He definitely, has to be. I'm not doing any more projects. That's not happening. I'm not doing any more projects. So I know I want him to be spiritually aware of himself and of this world without me having to tell him, you know? And how would that look? And how would I feel? Because I want a man. I want one. I don't need one. I want one though. And I've always said that. And some men find that intimidating, but it shouldn't. But I do understand and understand, you know, that I was raised in an environment where there was some emasculation going on. Okay? Not intentional though, just ignorance. But when you know better, you do better, right? So I'm sitting here like, because if I go back, the guys I dated were great until I became aware. Let me just say that. Back then, they were great, literally. Like, I didn't date no duds. I dated cheaters. But they were men who took care. A few. Once I got older, the majority, actually everyone. But as a teenager, no. And I knew and felt that was wrong, so that's why in my 20s it was a no-go. And I took a gap off. Like, last dude I dated was 19, and then there was some time before I dated again, intentionally. I was nursing a broken heart. And I did what I normally do. I take time away. Internally, intuitively guided to do so. Not knowing that that is my way and that is much needed. So the one time I go against that, let's just say, down the rabbit hole I went, and not the one that I voluntarily went down. This one took me through hell. I can laugh now. I was laughing then, but it was a strained laugh because it was like, okay, something going on. Something, excuse me, I kept saying something going on. What is going on? And I would say this to like the people around me, like, this something ain't right. Something is going on. I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. Like, what is going on? And then kind of find out I was literally in the twilight zone. It's like, what? What? Are you kidding me? But now that I know, and I got the keys to operate in the twilight on my own accord, this next part of my life is like, I feel gonna be like completely different in a very good way, though. In a very blessed way. In a very good way. And I'm like here for it for real. Like, cause I'm like all aware. I'm like, I know I'm not the wokest person. I'm really not. But I learn, and I know I'm here to learn. So that makes the journey even more better. Even the ones I don't care to feel. that's when oh, that's when that Aries energy be like, ugh. It's like, ugh, it really is. But I knew I had that type of energy when I told y'all guys about that story about when I had a fight when I first moved to Georgia. So I knew then that I had to do something, and I started then. So it took a lot then to get me to that point. But once I'm there, that's the thing. It was still like, so So now, you know, I'm like, I watched I've oh my goodness, I watched so many videos that help me, y'all. Like, and I don't even think y'all inner over understanding have. So I was watching this I forget her name. Oh my goodness. I forget her name. But I love her personality. I'm like, she is so lovable. I love her, and she's so open and vulnerable, which is one of the reasons which led me here, right? Because she's talking to a therapist, and it's actually a dating coach, but a dating coach is somewhat a therapist, and she's coaching her because she's like looking for her first date, and I love dating. I do. I love the dating stage. I do. But I always pick dudes who are emotionally unavailable. So I'm not doing that this go around. And it's like, who is he gonna be? What is my pure soul? This building, this foundation that I'm constantly building and learning and appreciating. What is it going to manifest like into the dude? Loyalty, sincerity, unconditional love. No trying to, you know, gaslight me. None of that. So I'm curious. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna continue to work on myself and love on myself and create positive forming habits in the areas where they have become negative, or yeah, where they've become negative. Because see, and that's the thing. If I didn't have a clear and concise memory of what my life was like before I turned 30, but 25 is when the pain and stuff began, but 30 is when it like kicked into high gear. It really did. Because I had my last birthday party at 29, and I remember that party. I was dressed in white with a tiara. Yes, I was. I was cute too. But I had already made that bad decision. And it should have been key when on my 29th birthday party, I did not invite him and absolutely told him he could not come. That is not the life I would have pictured for myself because I want my partner, you know. Anywho, they'll know. And so I didn't even want to make this juice. Now, mind you, I seen the video about it probably about 2, 3 weeks ago. I wrote down the ingredients, and when I went to the grocery store, I got the ingredients about, I'd say, a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't make it. I made homemade lemonade though. I did. And I've always been a sugar, I'm telling you, food, but it was designed that way. My life was designed that way. It was designed that way. We've been fighting against the odds for a long time, but God is good. My ancestors are good. Listen, so I'm curious as to see not only, what the outer person that reflects my new heart, my repaired heart, my healing heart, my self loving heart, my unconditional heart, what it's going to look like. I'm curious really to see how I'm gonna respond. Like, I've always been that, like, I'm really shy when it comes to like, not so much, but in the beginning, like, but I'm not anymore, so to speak, but kind of, sort of. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know. But I'm curious to see how I'm going to interact. and what this new person, this woman, this knowing woman is going to manifest into when she meets, someone she's attracted to for all the right reasons, and not out of fear, and not out of a lack of self love, and not out of any type of desperation, which has never been my thing, which is why I'm glad I always took time, right? How it's going to manifest when I am giving those things to myself, and I continue to give those things to myself, which again, like I said, up until like 30, I was still doing me. I still had my hobbies. I still went out with my homegirls every now and then. I cherished my relationships. They just weren't cherished back in the way that was pouring into my soul. Okay. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be. I'm excited though. I'm always nervous. But it's a good nervous. It's not a scared for your life type nervous. It's a like, oh my gosh, oh my god, he's so cute. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. He's so fine. He smell good. Oh my goodness. Look the way he walk. Oh, look how he look in them clothes. Like, mm. And if he got a beard and a mustache, listen. But still look fine without it too. Listen. It's like, what? It's nothing like a good smelling man that know how to be a gentleman. I've dated gentlemen in my life, so I know what it feels like. I learned to appreciate it because, see, I was still young and open, but then I was also caught in my own head. So I didn't voice a lot of things that I should have voiced. But now I know better, so I do better, right? So that part has changed because I got hindsight 2020 on the young woman I was at 25, and I was still dating older men. I didn't have anything in common really with the men my age, or with them being a little older than me. It just never worked. And it was more so emotional intelligence than anything. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to talk about. That's it. Love. And it's been a rocky road, but I'm glad it brought me here. It's a different kind of love. I can't even describe it right now. It feels different. It looks different. It acts different. It sees different. It's different. Hmm. Hmm. I was just sitting here thinking about what it feels like. And it feels like being wrapped in a rainbow. That's what came to my head. Like me just sitting here right now and just a rainbow wrapped around me. And I haven't seen a rainbow in a minute. Well, not a minute, but well, that's not the truth. I have not seen one in the sky like you know how you see the rainbow. I think the last one I seen was a rainbow and a half rainbow because the top right part of the rainbow. You could see it, but you couldn't see it. So yeah. So the fact that I got that visual was just beautiful because that's what it feels like. Everybody loves rainbows. I think even a hardcore dude and or woman or even child, you know, when you're having your darkest times and you feel like there's no light, when you see a rainbow, it does something to you. It does something, doesn't it? Or is that just me? It does something. It does something. Even no matter where you see the rainbow, we love to see it in the sky. Okay? Somewhere over the rainbow. You know, we all love that song. So I'm so curious to see, and not even just in romantic relationships, let me get off that right now, but just in the people that I come across now, the people that I meet, different conversations, completely different conversations. And it's what my soul craves, it's what I desire. And so it's like my soul wants to be fed. It like it wants to be fed all the way around. In every aspect of my life, it needs to be in alignment. It needs to be in alignment with my divine life's path. And unconditional love is included in that. But first, I'm on a journey to love myself, and I'm okay with however long that takes. I really am. This is not, you know, where it's like, okay, let's do this now. No, I'm ready to get out there, not just in romance, just, you know, work. I do want to work. I like, listen, disclaimer, they can't do anything about it now. The McDonald's don't even exist. But the manager knew I lied too. I forged my birth certificate to say that I was 15 so I wouldn't be limited at 14. Or was it 15 and 16? I'd have to look and see and remember. But I forged my birth certificate. It wasn't a very good forge either. It really wasn't. It was like you could tell. You could tell. You could tell. But I did not want to do 4 hours a week. It was like that was not going to work for me. That was not going to work. It was not beneficial to me. How dare they? Like I was very mature. Clearly I proved it. And then it was so crazy because I think when my birthday came up, it was like, "Oh, I'm this age." Cuz you know, I'm really not good at lying. I'm really not. Especially when you catch me, I'm going to tell the truth. And that's the truth. Confirmation. I remember when my mama was gonna whoop me and she asked me a question, and I told the truth, but I was gonna explain, but why she shouldn't whoop me. She didn't even give me a chance to get to the butt. Why? Because by the time I said but, she was whooping my butt. But there was an explanation after that. Like I get why you would want to whoop me, but she didn't even let me get it because I did get caught. But it was like you need to understand why, like, and what happened, because nothing happened. But back then parents didn't care about your thought process. They didn't care about your reasoning, your feelings. They didn't care about none of that stuff. I do know now that that's damaging, and I have done my share of doing that. Which I've apologized to those that I feel I have affected or you know influenced in a way that I grew up, which was anywho, programming, right? What can you do? Change it, honey. We can change our programming. It's not going to be easy though, and I'm okay with that. So in the other video, I was talking about like what it taught me. It taught me to be tougher. It taught me that I can rely on myself, and I've done it when I've moved away. Even when I moved away, first time I moved away, I had me and my best friend at the time moved away. Second time I moved away, it was by myself, and I loved it. So, and by the time I was 19, I moved out. So, but now I think, well, I know because it's time. And when it's time, it's like, ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. You're gonna find me. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna be. And I gotta I'ma find it. So if I listen to this is going on 31. Okay. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it because she's so cute and so adorable, and she like is so vulnerable at the same time, and she's never dated before, and so that brings a freshness and a pureness. And so of course I'm watching it and I'm thinking about me like, okay, this is really going to be like your first date ever because you now, and you know you don't ignore red flags now. You're more in tune with your intuition and you're going to rely on that. And so it's like, okay, hmm, you're not going to ignore it. So it's like, okay, what is it going to look like? How's it going to feel? I am ready for love. Why are you hiding from me? I don't agree with that second part, although I still sing it. But that's the thing, I'm able to listen to songs and still keep my foundation. But I do agree with when people say, and this